So what happened was, my wife, we're talking about this infotainment now. You're saying that the older one sets in.
Yeah.
All right, doesn't look like it's an afterthought. This looks a little bit like an afterthought, and it's done fine.
Yeah.
But it looks a bit like an afterthought.
If you've seen the previous one, you'll know something's a bit off here.
Yeah, and if you touch the back here, it's a bit cold. Why is it cold? Because the aircon is slightly disrupted here. So my wife went to China.
Yeah.
Right, we bought a van. I don't know whether you know. It's a Daihatsu Grand Max.
Yeah.
Right. So the van was supposed to be put in Kota Kinabalu for staff to use. But when my wife is there, because she flies there once every 2 weeks, she has no car there. So she think, okay lah, maybe you should get a car lah. And because you get a Grand Max, she wants it automatic. It's automatic, but she wants a little bit of creature comfort. So she went to China, and when she was in China, she bought an infotainment. Relatively modern lah.
Okay.
All right. I'll tell you what, when we brought it back to be installed here, the infotainment was only 500 ringgit. I kid you not. All right, in Malaysia it would have sold for 2,000.
Yeah.
But it's 500 ringgit in China. All right, we brought it back. The installation cost is 500. All right, and the guy who installs it keeps saying it doesn't fit one. It doesn't fit one, to the extent that we have to ask the China guy to show how it's supposed to fit. And I'll tell you what, it fits exactly like this. It slightly blocks the aircon a little bit. So the back is permanently slightly cold.
Yeah.
But up here, you don't get any extra bits, which is better than Toyota. Every single Toyota we've tested in the past 5 years, the back here
has a TV screen.
There's a TV screen coming out. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
So what my wife did for 500 ringgit in China and 500 ringgit installation cost in Malaysia is this level of work.
Well,
but it could be a China thing, it could be a China telling, or the Swedes see so many Chinese cars, they get numb to this. And because a lot of Chinese cars do this, right? And they feel this is okay lah.
Yeah, I think it's a supply issue thing.
Yeah.
I think the panels come in certain sizes.
Okay.
So they don't come in the sizes that you want.
Okay.
Like the 9-inch one, maybe nowadays it's a bit unpopular.
Right.
Or if you want this kind of
9-inch very low end already.
if you have 9-inch, you won't get this kind of graphics.
Like Mazda.
Mazda is
The
like,
CS60
yeah, still small, right?
I mean, I like the interior, but that screen, like, what
It's
the
a bit
hell?
small, yeah.
That is like the auxiliary screen in a Chinese car.
Yeah. So I think it's just that
It's a supply problem.
It's a supply problem. And then to re-engineer the whole dashboard, it's like, let's just slap it on.
You see, that's okay if you're selling a 200,000 ringgit car.
But a 500,000 car.
It's
It's difficult to brain.
yeah, you're not selling cheap, bro.
Yeah.
I know a lot of it is tax, but still a bit aged.
And today they don't pop like they used to.
If you're gonna use the same chassis, you're gonna do a lot of work.
You can do this, it's fine.
It's a bit like the Chrysler 300 using a 210.
Yes.
Right, you know what I mean?
It's a lot like how Nissan used to do facelift.
Yeah, you can reskin the entire car, isn't it?
Yeah.
And recycle a 20-year-old chassis,
Yeah.
Because you're selling cheap, nobody's gonna blame you,
But when you're selling expensive,
we have certain demand. We have certain expectations. But the EV can't sell.
apparently the US is shrinking the demand for EV.
Right.
And this car and Volvo's market is US. Primarily. So they had to ship something to the US that would work.
Right.
And it's supposed to be.
But EV market in Europe is growing.
Yeah, but it's not the premium segment that is leading the charge.
But like I said, the Chinese BYD has gone 300%.
Yeah.
But like I said just now, premium is dead with EV because every cheap Chinese car feels like premium.
Yeah. The issue is premium became tech focused.
Right.
And then when EVs come in, basically they are all naturally tech focused.
Yeah.
They can do it faster and cheaper.
Right.
And more naturally.
Oh yeah.
So premium ICE is completely
lost. So you, as long as you don't look low cost, like cut cost, you're premium already now.
Correct.
As
long as your artificial leather feels like Napa.
Right.
Well, the premium boys are all doing fake leather now.
Right.
So they're doing vegan leather.
They are the one that started this road, isn't it? Then when people do fake better than you, and then you start realizing what's the point of my existence.
Yeah. So
somebody told me recently, I can't say who that Geely was very disappointed with Volvo for not delivering. Yeah, they gave a lot of freedom to Volvo, very free reign, but it's internal politics that is killing Volvo.
Yeah. Ever since that, what's his name left? Samuel Hawkinson.
Left to where Polestar.
He went to lead Polestar or something like that. And then they put
he was shelved in Polestar.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
No, he did such a good job at Volvo in the first 5 years.
Yeah, he was shelved to Polestar.
To see if he can make that work.
What I heard was different.
Oh.
He was shelved. That's why he was kicked to Polestar. Polestar is basically a demotion.
Yeah, but they brought him back.
They did. They
brought him back.
They asked him to come back.
Because the ship was sinking.
Yeah.
The direction was completely wrong. I mean, so sad, man. For them to go from, I mean, in 2015, I was most optimistic about Volvo versus any other car brand.
Right.
But in 10 years,
it doesn't look that
of
great.
all the premium brands besides Audi, this is the least optimistic.
Well, Audi is bad shape.
Audi is like, forget it lah.
Well, VW, Audi is bad shape.
Yeah, just merge all your brands into one and try to sell.
Even Porsche seems like, hey bro, you are the golden boy. What happened, man? You know? Yeah, interesting stuff, man. So, yeah.
Just that we've seen this before lah. For 10 years we've seen.
And the color doesn't help.
Yeah.
Because they had a
beige,
brown.
yeah,
They had a brown that is really nice, very classy, right? Then they removed that, and now you're left with the black.
Yeah.
That looks like the low spec version of the XC90.
Especially with the white headliner.
Yeah.
Just does not pop.
Yeah, this greyish white headliner is already dirty. You see?
I mean, I got the same color headliner in my wife's Vios. So what are you?
But your wife's Vios got sponge or not?
Oh, the sponge, yes.
Yeah, which will fall down.
In case my head hits that thing.
Yeah.
That 1 centimeter of sponge.
No, 1 millimeter.
1 millimeter.
Which will fall down after a while. Things and your wheels and brakes and whatnot.
Yeah.
Then you have this integrated system. If this breaks, something along it breaks, this whole thing.
But I mean, the solution is EV, but the mindset change has to be there lah. Because switching to EV, to me, is like switching to smartphone from computer. You have to accept the fact that, it's tax-free.
Oh, fuck! We got lucky!
Why the... It's off.
Okay.
It's okay, this is the disposable camera.
Oh. Holy shit. We almost lost it.
We might still lose it.
You think the suction is good enough?
I calculated that it is. Even if we lose it, it's okay. This action cam is no longer that useful to us.
Oh.
So I thought try some experimental.
Okay.
There's one British reviewer called JM on.
I know, JM, I know.
He always does that shot where the camera is on the bonnet shooting in.
Yeah.
It's such a cool shot.
He drives so many nice cars.
Yeah,
Lotus. Because a lot of people don't get it that the game is changed. It's completely changed. Yeah, I was posting my yesterday. I went down to Malacca, do some classic car things. You know, oh, somebody comment, oh, I love your videos like this instead of those EV videos. I tell him, I appreciate those things for what they are. They are from the past. They belong to a different era. But we still need to live in the now, because you come up with a Toyota Celica TA28 today. Nobody's going to buy it.
They're not going to do it at
It's a stupid, and they won't be able to afford to do it also because it won't pass any regulations.
Right. And you know what? I mean, I hate to take this to the camera world. But in the camera world, the same thing has happened, you know. Since 2020, there's been very little advancement in camera tech.
Right.
And if it was not for all the patents held by the Japanese companies, I'm pretty sure the Chinese would just bulldoze
them already.
I mean, you look at DJI. DJI can do everything this kind of camera does in a 2,000 ringgit package. Lens included, everything included.
DJI.
You can do super slow-mo like crazy.
Right.
A lot of these cameras will cost 2 to 3 times as much and not be able to do those things.
I saw a video the other day on, I think, Xiaohongshu. And it's in Chinese. There's this guy who say, why does it look like as if the Japanese always took the wrong turn or the wrong bet when it comes to technology? You know, you have your mini disc, and then you have your plasma TV, and then you have, what else? Phone technology, a few other things. Basically, the Japanese just went and then
hydrogen power.
Yeah, hydrogen power. They always seems to go down the wrong step when it comes to betting on what's the next big thing, right? he says it's not because it's bet wrongly. It's because the Chinese way of referring to Japan, it can be a bit derogatory. Little Japan, they call it. Because little Japan is too greedy. Every time they come up with something new, unlike Tesla, how does he push everyone to go electric? Open source.
Give everyone the
you can do as I do. I don't block you from doing what I do. Right? Japan, once they develop a new technology, they lock it up and they gate it. And when they gate it, but the problem is you're so small, you're not America. America can gate it. Well, even America find it hard now. With China sidestepping everything you gated. Japan is nothing compared to America. And yet they try to gate everything. And then China says, screw you, I'm going to do my own thing. America says, who are you to tell me what I can or cannot do? And that is why it seems as if Japan always go down the wrong route. But it's not because of that. It's wearing a bigger hat than they have what it takes to wear.
Actually, technically, they're usually correct. It's just that
they're not wrong. I do not know whether they're correct. They're not wrong.
They're not wrong,
But it's the way they approach this technology that tells the bigger players, like, why do I want to follow you, little Japan? Right?
Nobody wants to see them win.
Well, that's that.
Even the whole BYD scandal, it's like, you don't know where the truth is, where the truth isn't.
I tell you for me, BYD can play. They can play. But you see, nobody is speaking on their behalf, which is why I tried to speak also. They should say this. I didn't want to play. Remember that video I made? I asked you all to join me. You all bastards all don't want to join me, and then you think you are the shit going to play price war. Who's the king of price war? I am the king. But I think the market also regulates itself in a certain way. You see, all this price war, all this while, everyone celebrates, especially consumers. You know who is not celebrating? The competitors. But this round of BYD shocks everyone. And I think there was a bit of backlash. But we shall see whether their sales go up. Because you can have backlash, but if his sales are shooting up, then it works. And BYD is telling you, I told you it works. You don't want to follow or you can't follow, you go and stand at the side.
But the fact that even the Chinese government come in to tell them to, hey, can you not...
Because they want to kill off other people. They want to kill off other people. And can they play? I don't think they're selling below cost. You know, the whole Malaysians talking the whole thing about the 0 mile pre-registration.
That's BMW's tactic in Malaysia for every single year. It's like a monthly occurrence.
It happened in China. First time I hear. That means their figures must be fake. Bro, you know, second-hand car dealers are out there showing, these are all our pre-reg used car. You don't just see BYD, you see every single one. So, it's like that. It's part of the business. But I tell you what, you want to know whether this car is premium or not? You look at its steering wheel.
I thought you were going to whack this.
No. Does it look like premium to you? It looks cheaper than BYD. BYD
this
has
thing
that.
Doesn't look good.
This thing doesn't look good. This button look like BYD, right? And then this leather wrap looks.
It doesn't look like premium.
It doesn't look Range Rover. You know, Range Rover at least.
You go to Mercedes AMG, you got then you got a little circular OLED display and all that. That is like shock factor.
Right. Even MG gets their steering wheel much better, right? This one is just like steering wheel. You want steering wheel? I give steering wheel.
You want? I put some nice leather on it.
I do a nice leather. What? Got buttons or?
It's like, it feels like Volvo stopped paying attention to what the market is doing 10 years ago.
How can you not do when your parent company is Geely?
It's Geely, And you got Zeekr in Sweden. Cannot just look over.
You just look at them and look at the steering wheel and go like, well, bro. You know, I sat into the 7X. The moment I sat into it, wow, this is something special, right? And I sit here, I have to tell myself, this is supposed to be special.
You have to remind yourself of the price of this car.
That's not supposed to happen. You know, like Mercedes, you sit into Mercedes, it looks the shit, isn't it? You know, the colors, you can say you don't like it, but it looks the shit. Sure. When you start pressing, it's like, what the? Why is this squeaking? Don't touch, it's okay. But that's a different complaint, right? But you didn't even get that first impression right.
The aura is gone.
How is this? You know, I've always had this issue with Volvo. How is this chonky little pillow-like thing class? How is this class?
Like up here is kind of class,
Up here is okay.
but once you
Right.
come down here, it's like
But I'll tell you what, this is IKEA plus. Right?
Yeah.
It's IKEA plus. But down here is like, you know who make cushions and sofa like this? Some dude in Sungai Buloh. At the back of his shop. Make cushions like this. Like, no shape.
no. 10 years ago, I would completely come to Volvo's defense.
Yeah.
But right now, I really
How
can't.
come?
Because 10 years ago, you see these buttons?
Yeah.
They call them chiclet style power switches. Nobody does it except for Bentley.
Huh?
Yeah. This style. Porsche and Bentley are the only style. The only ones that do this.
Huh?
Yeah. The style of power buttons that are like kind of smaller and like less chunky
Okay.
and glossy plastic. At that time, it
Okay.
was only Bentley and Porsche doing it.
Was it?
Yeah. So I was like, oh, okay, that's your premium flair lah.
Okay.
And then the Bowers and Wilkins thing
Oh,
with,
yeah.
with the see-through.
They were not the first, but
They were the first.
was
They
it?
do see-through grill,
Oh yeah,
and you can see the speaker inside. So back then, they were doing a lot of design stuff that was really, that is premium, you know. But everyone has caught up, and they have not really stepped
Improve.
up. So what that tells me is maybe they're not paying attention, or maybe this facelift was really last minute, to the point where they could not do anything in time. That they just like, okay, just change the dashboard. Because maybe the EX90 is revolutionary. Maybe that one is like, oh, mind blowing.
I know, revolutionary.
Like Mercedes, I don't touch it, you know.
I wonder why, you know. And it's the first thing you touch as you come in. Because you open the door, and I'm looking at it, oh, nice. Then I touch it, I was like, fuck this shit. What the fuck?
Squeaky.
Yeah, I think Chinese car from 10 years ago was not screwed like that, you know. Like, what? You go and show, when you get your hands on the EX, I saw it in Mount Tamil. So it's like, wow, comfortable environment. First thing I thought, what the fuck? Yeah. I even planned out in my head already, the video when you come, I'm gonna open the door.
And you're gonna press
I go,
But it didn't.
it didn't. This is okay. I prepared, yeah, because like, hey, what's this? Oh, oi.
Oh yeah, it's a contextual control. So if you shift it like that, like you see the little thing around.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Then it
completely
changes.
unnecessary, isn't it?
Minimalism.
Minimalism is do everything here
Yeah, you can.
without the button.
Oh, you cannot. Wow, you cannot. Pointless.
Pointless. It's just a display.
Yeah, but to tell you what you have selected. What happens if both of us do? Oh wow,
Wow, both sides.
it's like a video game. Split screen. See who can adjust the shadow.